write it down. Subscribe.
I didn't know, it's kind of weird that it needs it. Yeah, last night, what?
You're having me for excellent.
These are. These are. The stormwater drain to replacement of 40, if you have to spend money, so it's either somewhat wrong, but I know for the.
I got you guys.
Yeah. Yes. I just got something to make sure we can.
This is for VA. Basically, you can go.
Well,
And some days, and so he at least was. He seems to be trying to drop in that. All the. Why do you get it?
well, the only concern all is. Oh,
You're charged
now.
now.
The
The volume.
If anybody needs turned up, then. You know, the installation of that or whatever, you know. Whatever they need. Yeah. Right. But I mean, like down the road. Yeah, so. Yeah. And I agree with you, like, so. Like a bill. They're out. Like, on the fire. Well, fire. I was, you know, and I didn't. Even. You want to start. I said, this is all the simulation of best. You know, that's what I did. I said, Fortune's like, check it. Just imagine, yes.
Cool.
Right now.
Oh.
Probably was.
They're, we're working, but they do. Huh? Yeah. $1,000 a year, $1,000 here.
Okay. Sound.
So what's the point? I was a kid. He said, I have to break out scared, but God. Keeps alarming out. See, this is the thing. See, and I didn't know I was facing. I'm really afraid of this, but I didn't know I was facing. I'm not because the mess up.
Yeah, I know.
Well, very small, reason. Get this one basement. Oh, yeah, I said it. Well, you how do you recess? So, I mean, like, sort of 75 gallons, but 60. Well, it's like 18 and 19 gallons, more about 50. Well, keeps arm out, shoots itself down with the stop, but about that RO. But the first guy was like, yeah, talking to a case, I said, tomorrow, I said, what about that? So, bumping up to 6%. Well, see, and that's when they started the bypass. They rather kill it all the way. Plus, right. Well, because they might, I was saying, it's gonna sign for everything else, but I don't know. If it's 20 feet below it, so that whole system would get people. Well, I have to face it, so I think you just mark it out. It's only with like, I between and a half the ones that are on the suppository. 60 ounces. I said, yeah, so another 20 gallons. That's what I'm talking 30, 40 extra gallons of concentrate when you get out. If it's one that's full, okay, so for every gallon we produce of good water, well, I said quarter gallon. So good water. So we send a gallon out of good water, it's a quarter gallon out. So then we get very good life. But if we went back up to 15, that would put us up above that. Like to 25 to 26. Well, then we're not gonna drop down on our mountains at all. I told myself. Well, we did the way we changed it to like 300 seconds, but it's still ended up to like this and shut on. But I told myself, we didn't run it back. It's the testing and everything. Everything. So it is. That's what people say. Everything you want. That's what we want. We're feeding. That was my thought because that water is it's going to shoot. So that's they have to be well. When I did when I ended up playing better decks, like we had negative average that we were getting, so it wasn't being. Yeah. So even when I put up the lowest positive number, it was basically like this water is a city, it'll drip pipes to do this, and I was like, okay, so I said, we need that.
The library was last night. We have to finish this meeting today. It's like something. All right, guys, 6 o'clock, good advice, saying we'll set the. Well, we can go out there. Say it's in the paper. See here, Christians, using under God, indivisible, liberty, justice. Okay, Mr. Secretary, did we have the
Certainly. Begin roll call. John is absent tonight, so we'll start with Dawn. Polk as
President?
Vice President, acting president tonight. Bobby Osborne, council member. And Wayne Langman, town clerk, is again pretending to be the secretary. The agenda has been distributed. The minutes have been distributed. The only thing I'd like to mention is that I will have a meeting with State Department of Local Government on Friday, hopefully to get everything approved on our budget. And all we have to do is pass it here. So we're running late this year. They completely revamped the entire process. And hard everybody to go to classes before we can even submit that.
Well, they always gotta make it hard.
Anyways, back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much for the secretary. Stogborn, have you got a chance to read the utility and the town?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to give you what entertain. I'll second it. Okay. What agenda minutes are we talking about tonight? Where do you want to start at? I don't care. We can do that.
For the month of July, the plant produced 24,153,000 gallons. The max day was July 19th at 1,310,400 gallons. The minimum day was July 11th at 562,200 gallons, which brought the daily average to 779,129 gallons. On July 22nd, Jeremy and I pulled the TTHMs and HA5s, which are it's how we monitor for our chlorine disinfectant byproducts, which is anything left over, acids or anything like that from it. So I got those back. They were all good. Most of it was non-detect, but that's one reason we also flush the system once a year to help push all that stuff out. So we did take those. The only sample we have besides our monthly samples left for the year is just our nitrate samples, and they're due by the end of the year. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much.
We will do our monthly samples tomorrow. There's no update on the Glen Tower. We did have a contractor come and get some measurements off that, and we're waiting a quote from him. Crews have been painting hydrants. Meter installs are all completed as of today, and Dustin is here for an update about the water projects and the SRF funding, I believe.
The water project, we've got permits going behind him. So we did hear back from SRF, order to get it closed. Funding start construction by spring. If it's closed by the end of this year, closing cutoff is like December 15th. And in order to do that, we have to open bids by the end of September. So I propose that we have a bid opening on September 30th at 11 a.m. here. You guys okay with that? If you like to have a pretty good meeting on September 18th, Friday at 10 a.m. here. We'll handle all the advertising, we'll advertise, beginning of 2 times in September, is really the star. And then we'll send out the advertising to the contractors and everybody to let them know the project. The only thing that's really pushing the project, this accelerated, that's the flag just not get going, is the Terre Haute Shire project, everything good project, January. See the water main conflict for almost the entire length of that. So we can get the Cedar water main out of the way for that section of Shire before they get there, or else they're going to get add some nasty rams, some water, do all that stuff. So otherwise, we keep pushing the spring, but we really need to get it going. So
Do we need to be present for those bids?
the bid opening looked like that one person there. Job. The pre-bid opening to the end of like very there, but no time with the council meeting, no meeting the public, but the council is.
What time was the pre-bid?
Pretty good, I like to do it 10 a.m. We have some easements that we need to obtain, there's about 10 of them out of the 33. They've been our portion, which is clear, and exhibits the description, the little graphic that goes with it, but since you're attorney, Will Frankel, he's supposed to be drafting up the portion of the easement, as soon as the end comes back. But we'll have to have somebody from the town here, maybe go out and try to get some of those, a couple of those are pretty easy with,
I didn't do that. I mean,
doesn't have to be,
it's not working, so you just call me when you get that.
Okay.
Or text me.
those do have to be obtained by the time of the revenue trees that Jeremy has, those can be wait here in the spring. They're all in the wood shot, or they're all woodridge, so they can that those as part of our documents. So these things have to be in here before we close.
I got the last ones, man.
Yeah.
I think people feel less threatened when the one walks up to where they don't feel the pain. It's just nature. I'm not saying I don't feel uncomfortable.
Questions on the water. Once we get it set off, we can set up you guys probably this week, which you can see it. So like the biggest. Everything changed. The only thing that probably changed on the server is that we'll have to make the insulate vent on that west wall. We've got to cut a hole in there or something. For sure with the question block, but that's not that big of a deal. Then of course that for area water quality results from that you can send over.
Yeah, I don't, there's some of them we don't test for, like the alkalinity, and the total, what was it, total dissolved solids, or suspended solids.
So
Dissolved. So we would have to get the testing, I mean, we'd probably get a meter to test that. I think there's a meter out there that does both, maybe. Yeah, so.
I think it's everyone can have the other stuff. Okay, that's over to
So they are going back with green sand, they're not going with it.
that's our plan, unless they change based on these results.
I got you. I didn't know if we keep asking whether we need to get a little charter with Corey.
Goal will be chlorine.
What's that?
Our goal will be chlorine, so down there. It's a bit open for people. Yeah, we do.
Right.
That's all I've got. You have any questions?
That's all I have with the water.
All right. You have anything, for the sewer?
I do. Sanitary sewer, 97 feet of sewer main was replaced at the Baker lift station. This is from manhole 104 to 105. It's been completely replaced with plastic. This is an issue that's been going on over there for years, so it is now 100% solid plastic from one manhole to the other. So hopefully this alleviates several of the problems we've had over the years there. There's no other issues with the sanitary at the moment. I would like to order new signs for the lift stations. I'm gonna order the same design. They're just very dated, faded. They just need new signs. I would guess less than $300-400 for the signs. So just wanted to ask for your approval before I did that.
I don't know. Probably.
Storm sewer, we do have pay app 4 and pay app 5. Those will both need signed. Progress on Baker Street continues with a walkthrough inspection later this month. The road should be patched before then. We also had our inspection with the Terre Haute inspector and the state inspector from IDEM. This is for our MS4 program, which is safe stormwater sanitary stuff. We had 0 issues, 0 deficiencies. The guys did an awesome job keeping our shop clean. Attached in the back of your stuff is an email from the lady that runs that with Terre Haute, just giving us thanks for that. Nobody else in this group had that 0 deficiencies or 0 issues, so it's kind of a nice thing. So, yeah. And also the crews, they've had a little bit of downtime just with things being caught up. We have been taking our mower to some overgrown ditches throughout town, so they have been helping clear those out in areas that have never been touched as long as I've been here, and I don't think the ladies have ever seen them worked on. So we're trying to get some of those older ditches to the wood line stuff and back up and clean up.
Good.
That is all I have for the utilities. Okay. I will get them over there tomorrow.
Is there any public comment? Second. All in favor? Aye.
You want me to start with Don?
Pardon me?
You want me to go ahead and start with?
Yeah, go ahead and start with the
Okay.
town.
Did we already approve the minutes for?
Right,
Okay.
both minutes of it, and both sets of minutes have already been approved.
All right, the ADA plan needs updated. We've generally always contracted with HWC. This is a federal requirement. We don't have any ifs, ands, or buts on this. It is $12,150. This would be for the next 3 years, 26, 27, and 28 for this price. Also, once we approve this, if we do, there's a resolution 2026-811, name of the ADA coordinator. It's generally myself. It's just there and we need updated. There is also the 2027 CCMG agreement with HWC. This is for $33,000. This would be for the 2027 CCMG. We're looking at getting some roads paved, so that's how they help us get the grants, anything else like that.
How's that community growth?
Yes. Also, there is the 2026 PAMP update. It is only $2,600. If we approve it, it will need signed. Crews again have been working on the roads, cleaning the roadways, the right of ways. They've even went down 40 and cleaned up the shoulder. This helps the town look nice, but the guys are doing a fantastic job. And we're hoping to have them do some more here shortly. Also in front of you, you don't have to sign them. John has already signed them. The stormwater project is going to take place out here at Tabortown and 40. NDOT is doing this project. We are required to move our utilities. We don't have any say in this. The water portion is $108,100. The sewer portion is $58,119.93. So these are already spoken for. The agreements are signed. I'm waiting on state to sign them and send them back, but it is a binding agreement. We're in contract with them. We have to do it. So it's not anything we want to do, but 40 needs some updates anyway. So it's going to
be done.
So that is all that I have for the town. So. Yes, the ADA will need to vote on. We will need to vote on the CCMG and the PAMP. ADA. Generally bound with them to do these, so we're nothing new, so. It's just
There.
the ADA plan is, Dawn has the ADA plan and the CCMG, the CCG, CCMG and the PAMP are together in that one that Dawn has, so there's only two, so. I just separated them out that way if anybody asks what the price difference for the
John, you think John has already signed?
The utility agreements with the state project down the road. We.
Well, all over the table. Is there anything else I need to be bringing up here?
Wayne, that's something from Dublin. Well, there'll be something.
About the, be read.
State, state in infinite wisdom decided they want to give it. That's one annual from county. Considering, and I have to have a resolution each time. All approved. So this is the resolution that will give me permission, ask the.
Okay, this is a resolution by the Cedarville Town Council to request a share of the distribution of the local income taxes funds from the Vigo County Auditor. Whereas the town has in place a fund which draws its funding from the local income tax. And whereas the amended act which established the lit tax required that any town wishing to receive these funds is required to make a request for distribution of these funds. And whereas the town of Cedarville has identified a need for said funds. And whereas this request must be presented and approved by the town council at a public meeting, and whereas the town has held such a meeting and passed a request for distribution of said funds. Then therefore, it be resolved that the town council of the town of Cedarville does hereby request that the appropriate Vigo County offices should set aside and distribute to the town such lit funds as is allowed by law. Second motion. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Take care of that. Well, if there's nothing else,
Public comment.
well, yeah. Do we have any public comment? Have any public comment from the councilman? Guys, have any comment?
I know.
I'll check. All those in favor? This has been a short. And with a lot of help from everyone.
Sir. I'm sorry, was you asking if there was anything that takes someone wanted to say? I'm sorry, I thought you was talking about your issues we were just discussing. Oh. Yep. My name is Eric Russ. I've done unfortunate. I came in and spoke with the council president months ago about it. I got pulled over by an officer, Grant Daly. I believe it was completely retaliatory. Asked him to take a look at the body cam footage and show egregiously how he treated me for a suspended license, which immediately produced receipts showing that I paid the ticket. It's unfortunate to Clay County get to send it off. And that's exactly what happened. But doesn't have a dash cam to prove my innocence. And I don't understand that when we see block cameras on the side of the highway that record and save our data for the cops to use to prove anything they want to prove. But yet you guys don't have the transparency that everyone claims to use to show that, hey, he was doing the right thing, but no, he lied completely. His whole police probably called affidavit complete lie, fabrication. And the fact that I came up here 2 weeks ago and asked the town council president about what he thought, and his reply was that he didn't see anything wrong with Bobby. I urged the rest of the council to pull it and look at it. There was no reason for me to be putting guts. And let me say, I'm completely, totally disabled right now due to wrist, foreign tendons in my wrist. I went and had new MRIs done showing that I still have the tears. After the cuts were put on me, I told him I want to put the cuts on me, but I don't know how this is going to work. I've got bad wrist. You see the scar on this wrist where they done surgery. He didn't care, put me in cuffs into it. Had me out there. I was almost about to cry, saying, buddy, he released one, he's holding this one twisted, saying he's gonna put a second set of cuffs. My buddy, it's not, it's my hands behind, that's all body cam. So for you to say that you don't see nothing wrong with that, I don't believe that the people of Sealyville likes the idea that you guys are paying money for cameras to police everybody else, but you don't have dash cam for your police cars. I think it's wrong. And I'd like to know, and as far as Marshall Daly goes, he should be fired. He's complete. It was a retaliatory stop. He works for Clay County Sheriff's Department as well. He came out there over a firefighter, the chief of Dick Johnson Township, that has got a hair up his ass. And when they came out there, I'm explaining it to them, hey man, you guys got called out here because this fire chief is being a pain in the ass. Next thing you know, fire chief walks up. And then they refused to take any back. No reports, no nothing. And I told them to stay the F off my property. That's all I've got to say. From there on out, I didn't know it was him either that night until later I looked into it. I was like, so I was thinking, why was he being such a dick? What was the point of this? If you look at it, supposedly driving while suspended. Whatever happened to the totality of the evidence, right? He left me stranded on the side of the road with a dog at 2 o'clock in the morning. When I showed proof I paid the tickets. I had insurance, but no, he wouldn't let me drive the vehicle. We go off the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. I'm sure that if he's been an officer for this long, he's seen many a times with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles fail, or the clerk's office failed to send off that payment. But I paid the ticket, and the ticket was dropped. I haven't seen, it's not even in the court system anymore. You know, I don't know how that happens, but anyway, nonetheless. I would just like for the city council to take a look at that and make a decision. And I'll give you my name and phone number, and I'll make it a formal complaint. It was unnecessary use of force for him to put me in cuffs. And they sit there, call drug task force out there, 3 vehicles, all got their lights on, and be on the side of the road for an hour and a half over a joint. A joint. I bet every one of you have a friend or know somebody that smokes pot. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a lie. The whole law is based on lie to begin with. But yet you guys use that to violate people's rights and subject them to retaliation, embarrassment. I mean, come on. I had to spend $80 in Ubers to get home. And that was for simply giving someone a ride that needed a ride, because they got pulled. Anyway, my number, you got my number, right? Yeah. All right. But I would like to have an answer or reply or something to why flock cameras are being surveilling everybody. And you know, that information is wrong. How often is information wrong? But yet they use that to subject somebody to violate their rights. And you guys swore an oath to the Constitution, correct? All right. And then the flock cameras in themselves is a violation of the Constitution. We should be free to travel without the worry that a license plate reader is going to say that I've done something wrong when I did it. And it's because then it snowballed into prosecution. They want to go ahead and pursue it because they know Van Goodwell would sue. And I'm giving you guys the opportunity to take care of this. And you guys will be named in the lawsuit as well. Deprivation of rights under color of law.
Okay, so my answer to you is simply this. So, number one, so the Thompson is aware. So the gentleman had taken this to multiple public defenders through the county. Multiple public defenders reviewed the body cam footage. They saw the wrongdoing. This is essentially why it's not everywhere. The other side to this as well is that the information that I was given as to the PC for the stop was justified. So,
Totality of the evidence.
Any-
Any receipt.
you've had your time to talk. Any further correspondence from you needs to come from your attorney to our attorney.
Who's representing himself.
Okay. So this is your
formal complaint. Your formal complaint is noted. And if you want to take it to court, we have an attorney for the reason. So. Do not come here with additional correspondence to the council. You need to bring it in to our attorney or send it to our attorney, and I can provide you this information. Okay?
Were you trying to, restrict my freedom of speech?
I don't see exactly how that's restricting freedom of speech. You said you are your attorney. I am not an attorney. If you have legal things that need to go to our attorney, you need to send it to our
I
attorney.
think the city should hear it. That's the problem, because they don't hear this. They don't, how much is $50,000 a year on block cameras, but you can't put one in your cop cars?
Okay, we don't spend $50,000 a year on clock cameras.
Oh, maybe
It's like where you're getting that. We don't even spend 25,000 on clock cameras. Actually,
Well, it's not clearly noted in your report, so we would know.
actually, we don't spend any money on flock cameras because the one flock camera we actually did own and have, we did away with.
Well, what's camera down here, 2 cameras on Boot Hill and one.
My suggestion to you would be you better do a little bit better research because those cameras don't belong to us. They belong to the county of Vigo and Clay.
Well,
Just because they're
that's not like.
Just because they're close to Cityville doesn't mean they belong to Cityville.
Look it up online. It says you guys have a town of Sealyville has a contract with Flock.
We do.
Look it up.
We have one flock camera and then we have a camera at the park that was installed by Flock, but it is not an LPR camera. It is a camera we monitor our park surveillance with.
Get that, but it's just, you guys can make these decisions without letting people know. I mean, it's.
No.
Our meeting queries, I think, the highway.
The flock cameras were addressed many years ago when we brought them up. I can't help it. You didn't come to a meeting.
Right.
But I understand why you don't come to a meeting. You don't live here in Cedarville. I get that.
I drive through it every day and I mean, my tax dollar bill here. But every time I use my money here at Sealyville, doesn't it come to you guys?
As far as local income tax, possibly. No, I don't even know if local income, your local income tax dollar. would be there.
So you felt like.
We notated.
that I was treated fairly with respect.
I think he justifiably handled the situation as he should have.
Well, I'll be putting it on YouTube eventually. They look at that, see what their ideas of handling it correctly is. I was completely wrong with it. There was no need for it. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is kind of one stuff, so.
I just need to think something.
Sorry. We've got them distributed online. Better read one of them. Yeah, well.